All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into digital comics,
Oh, yeah.
but not just any comics. We're talking about how somebody with like literally zero artistic experience made over $500,000 selling these things.
That's a pretty bold claim.
Right.
Yeah.
It definitely caught my eye.
It's definitely attention grabbing.
Yeah, so the article we're looking at today is how to make over $500,000 with digital comics using AI tools, no experience needed.
Yeah, and they lay it all out.
Okay.
They really go into detail about this whole system.
So it's got me thinking, is this just like some one-off fluke, or
Yeah.
can anyone replicate this?
Mhm.
Let's unpack it.
Let's see if it's really possible.
Okay, so the article starts by highlighting this Etsy seller who pulled this off.
Right, they're selling these personalized comic designs.
Okay.
So, you could be a superhero fighting your biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
Or really any scenario you can imagine.
So custom comics on Etsy, I got it.
Exact.
But what makes this seller so successful? Is it just a matter of like throwing some AI-generated images together and calling it a day?
Well, that's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The article actually goes beyond just mentioning tools like Canva,
Right.
which most people familiar with design already know.
Yeah, sure.
They dive into AI programs specifically designed for comic creation,
Oh, wow. Okay.
like Skyer AI.
Skyer AI. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
What's so special about it?
it seems to be like the key piece of this seller's success.
Really?
Yeah, so with Skyer AI, you can choose a particular comic style.
Uh-huh.
Then you feed in details about the client and their desired scenario.
Oh, interesting.
And the AI generates the storyline and characters.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me someone could make a comic about me battling like a giant coffee cup or something?
Yeah,
With this thing that's kind of amazing.
that's right.
And also hilarious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that the article claims that this is what's driving those high sales figures. It seems like the combination of personalized content and the novelty of AI-generated art is really resonating with buyers.
Okay. I'm starting to see the appeal.
Yeah.
What happens if this Skyer AI thing goes down? Or, maybe it's just not for everyone?
Right.
Are there other options out there?
They do mention some alternatives.
Okay.
Tensor art is apparently a good option for generating that classic 2000s comic book style for free.
Okay.
And of course, Canva is always there for layout and design.
Right.
But it seems like Skyer AI is the real workhorse in this particular case.
So we've got the AI handling the art generation.
Mm-hmm.
But what about actually turning these comics into a product that people will pay for?
Right.
You mentioned Etsy.
Yeah.
But how does that whole process work? Do you just like upload the comic and hope for the best?
Not quite.
Okay.
There's a bit more to it than that.
Right.
The article dives into this concept of customization as like a key factor.
Okay.
They suggest using tools like BeFunky to really personalize the comics.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you could take a client's photo, turn it into a comic book style image,
Right.
and then integrate that into the AI-generated comic using Canva.
Oh.
So it's not just a generic superhero.
Right.
It's literally the client as the hero of their own story.
That's pretty clever. I can see how that would appeal to a wider audience.
Exactly.
It's like taking personalization to a whole new level.
Right.
No wonder people are willing to pay for that.
And that attention to detail seems to be a big part of why this seller is standing out
Yeah.
in a crowded marketplace like Etsy.
Okay, so Etsy personalized comics AI doing the heavy lifting. I'm starting to get the picture.
Yeah.
But is Etsy the only platform for selling these creations?
Well, the article doesn't stop there.
Okay.
They actually introduced another platform called Zazzle. Zazzle offers even more possibilities.
Okay.
Not only can you sell digital downloads of your AI-generated comics there, but you can also tap into the print-on-demand market.
Print on demand. Okay, for those of us who aren't familiar with the lingo, what exactly does that mean?
It means you can offer your designs printed on physical products,
Oh, okay.
like T-shirts, mugs, posters, you name it.
Gotcha.
Zazzle handles the printing, shipping, and customer service,
Right.
while you focus on creating and marketing your designs.
That makes sense.
A pretty low-risk way to expand your product line.
So instead of just a digital comic, someone could get a T-shirt with their own custom superhero character on it.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. I can see how that would appeal to a wider audience.
And it opens up new revenue streams.
Right?
Imagine someone buys a custom comic for themselves.
Uh-huh.
Then they love it so much that they buy a mug or a tote bag with the same design for a friend.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of print on demand.
Okay, I'm getting some serious business ideas brewing over here.
Yeah.
But let's back up a bit. We've talked about the AI tools, the platforms, the customization aspect.
Right.
But what about the actual business side of things? The article mentions an online business club.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
It seems to be a resource for people looking to start and grow online businesses.
Okay.
The article doesn't go into much detail,
Right.
but it suggests that the club provides guidance on everything from marketing to pricing to finding your niche.
So it's like a support system for navigating the digital entrepreneur world.
That's the impression I get.
Okay.
And it highlights a crucial point.
Yeah.
While AI can handle the creative heavy lifting, success in this space still requires business savvy.
Right. So it's not as simple as just letting the AI do its thing and then watching the money roll in.
Right.
There's still a lot of work involved in building a successful business.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's where the online business club might come in handy.
Yeah.
They likely offer insights and strategies for tackling those business challenges.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's zoom back in on the AI aspect for a moment. We've talked about the pros, but are there any potential downsides or limitations to using AI for comic creation?
That's a great question, and one the article doesn't really address.
Right.
While AI can generate impressive results, it's not without its quirks.
Okay.
One potential challenge could be maintaining consistency.
Yeah, I can see that.
For example, if you're creating a multi-page comic,
Uh-huh.
ensuring that the characters look and act the same throughout the story could be tricky.
Right, because AI is still learning and evolving.
Exactly.
So there's always a chance of unexpected results.
And another consideration is the issue of copyright.
Okay.
The legal landscape around AI-generated content is still evolving, and it's not entirely clear who owns the rights to these creations.
Right.
That's something anyone venturing into this space needs to be aware of.
So potential copyright issues, consistency challenges, and of course the need for business acumen to market and sell these comics effectively.
Right.
It seems like there's more to this than meets the eye.
There always is,
True.
but that's not to say it's not worth exploring.
Right.
The potential is certainly there, and the tools are becoming more accessible every day.
I'm curious, though, about this whole personalization aspect. How do these sellers know what kind of custom comics people actually want?
Yeah.
Are there certain themes or niches that are particularly popular?
That's where market research comes in.
Okay.
The article suggests paying attention to trends, browsing popular Etsy categories,
No?
and seeing what kind of custom products are already selling well.
Okay.
They specifically mentioned the example of people wanting to be superheroes fighting their biggest pet peeves,
Oh, right.
like procrastination or laziness.
Makes sense. It's about tapping into relatable everyday struggles and turning them into something fun and empowering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a key insight here. It's not just about creating cool art.
Right.
It's about understanding your target audience and offering them something they connect with on a personal level.
Okay, so market research, niche targeting, understanding your audience, all important factors for success in this space. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about pricing. How do you determine the right price point for these custom AI-generated comics? Is it based on the complexity of the design, the number of pages, or something else entirely?
That's where things get a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Pricing is always a balancing act, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The article briefly mentions the importance of considering your costs, the perceived value of your product,
Right.
and competitor pricing.
Okay.
But they don't offer any concrete strategies.
So it's more about trial and error, finding that sweet spot where you're making a profit without pricing yourself out of the market.
It seems so.
Okay.
And that's where the experience of other sellers and resources like the Online Business Club could be valuable.
Yeah.
They likely have insights into pricing strategies that work for this specific niche.
Right, because what works for a mass-produced T-shirt might not work for a highly personalized AI-generated comic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to the importance of understanding your unique value proposition.
Right.
What makes your comics different? What are you offering that no one else can?
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We've talked about the AI tools, the platforms, the customization aspects, the business challenges, and even touched upon pricing and copyright consideration. But I think the big question on our listeners' mind right now is, can anyone really replicate this success story?
Right.
Is it truly possible to make serious money selling AI-generated comics?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And honestly, there's no easy answer.
Sure.
While the article presents a compelling case study, it's important to remember that success in any business venture, especially online, is never guaranteed.
Yeah.
There are so many factors at play, from market trends to individual effort to a bit of luck.
So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
But it's also not impossible.
Exactly.
Oh,
And I think that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating.
yeah.
It's this intersection of creativity, technology, and entrepreneurship. It's about exploring new possibilities, pushing boundaries, and seeing where the combination of human ingenuity
Yeah.
and artificial intelligence can lead us.
It's like a whole new frontier is opening up.
Yeah,
And we're just beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible.
precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where the excitement lies. Yeah. It's about the potential for innovation, the chance to create something truly unique, and the opportunity to build a business around your passions.
So for our listener out there who's maybe feeling inspired,
Yeah.
but also a little overwhelmed,
Right.
where do they even start with all of this?
I think the best first step is to just dive in
Okay.
and start experimenting with these AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have free trials or free versions,
Right.
so you can get a feel for how they work
Okay.
without any financial commitment.
It's like test driving a car before you buy it.
Exactly.
But in this case, it's a super-powered creative machine.
That's a good way to put it.
So play around with different comic styles,
All right.
try generating some storylines, see what you can create.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at how intuitive and fun these tools are to use.
You really might.
And once you've gotten your feet wet, what's the next step? How do you go from playing around to actually building a business?
That's where the strategic thinking comes in.
Okay.
Think about what kind of comics you're most passionate about creating,
Mm-hmm.
what audience you want to target,
Right.
and what makes your approach unique. Are you focusing on humor, action, romance?
Okay.
Is there a specific niche you can tap into?
Gotcha.
The more specific you could be, the easier it will be to stand out in a crowded market.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where your passion intersects with market demand.
Exactly.
But let's say you've got your niche, you've mastered the AI tools.
Right.
You're churning out awesome custom comics.
Okay.
How do you actually get people to buy them? What's the secret to marketing these creations?
That's a whole other area of expertise.
All right.
And it's something the article only briefly touches on. But they do emphasize the importance of understanding your target audience
Yeah.
and tailoring your marketing efforts accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
You're reaching out to people on social media,
Right.
engaging in relevant online communities,
Right.
offering special promotions.
Yeah.
There's so many different strategies you can try.
It sounds like there's a lot of trial and error involved in finding what works best for your specific product and audience.
Absolutely.
And that's where resources like the Online Business Club might come in handy.
It is. They likely have a wealth of information on effective marketing strategies for online businesses.
It's like having a mentor or a guide to help you navigate the often confusing world of digital marketing.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
But even with the best marketing in the world, you still need a product people actually want, right?
You're right.
How do you ensure that these AI-generated comics are actually good? I mean, we've all seen those AI images that look a little off.
Yeah, that's a valid concern, and it's where the human element comes in.
Okay.
AI is a tool,
Sure.
but it's still up to the creator to guide it, refine its output,
Mm-hmm.
and ensure that the final product meets their standards.
Okay.
You might need to tweak the AI-generated images,
Mm-hmm.
edit the dialogue,
Yeah.
or add your own personal touch to really make the comic shine.
So it's not just about setting the AI loose and hoping for the best. It's about using your own creativity and judgment to shape the final product.
Exactly, and that's what makes this whole process so interesting.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration between human and machine,
Right.
each bringing their own strengths to the table.
Yeah.
The AI provides the raw materials, the speed, the ability to generate endless variations,
Okay.
while the human brings the vision, the storytelling ability, and the quality control.
It's like a creative partnership,
Yeah.
each side pushing the other to new heights. So if you're out there listening and you're thinking, I could never do that, I think this deep dive has shown that maybe we all have the potential to tap into this creative and entrepreneurial energy with a little help from AI.
Absolutely, and even if you don't become the next digital comic millionaire, the journey itself can be incredibly rewarding.
Right.
You'll learn new skills, explore new creative avenues, and who knows, maybe you'll discover a hidden talent or passion you never knew you had.
It's like an adventure waiting to be had, and the only thing stopping you is yourself.
That's right.
So to wrap things up, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the barriers to entry in the creative world are lower than ever before.
Okay.
Thanks to AI, anyone with a computer and an internet connection can explore their artistic potential, build a business, and share their creations with the world. It's an incredibly exciting time to be a creator, and the possibilities are truly limitless.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of another deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed exploring this fascinating world of AI-generated comics and the entrepreneurial spirit that drives it. Remember, the only limit is your imagination. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.